Yeah.
There we go. Perfect. Okay, we're in. I can clip this out. It's all good. All right. So, Adam, welcome, dude. Welcome to the Life Lift Repeat podcast. You already
Man.
know how Life Lift Repeats works because you know you're kind of inside the program. But look, I just want to pick your brain a little bit today. I appreciate you coming on, dude.
Yeah, man, it's all good. I'm super excited to be on the podcast. Obviously, you and I work very closely together as I'm the performance nutritionist in your team, and I've been eager to get on this podcast for a while now. Actually, I think it's quite cool that the audience that you speak to.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, man. Really looking forward to it. So look, I suppose just to start, like we're just gonna back and forth like we do, just talk shit, kind of. That's kind of how we do things around here. But for anyone who's kind of listening to this that hasn't met you yet, um, what is it that got you into nutrition in the first place? What do you think was the thing that got you into nutrition?
Yeah, so nutrition for me, right? It's a weird one because a lot of people go, nutrition, nah. But I got really excited by it all. And I was like, oh, this is quite cool, learning and knowing and understanding. And I specifically remember it was 2015, I think it was 2015. I was still serving at the time, and I started to be like, oh, I want to kind of get a bit fitter, get a bit stronger. I want to, like push my soldiering abilities to be the best soldier I could be. I was like, yeah, come on, let's go learn, let's go do some things. So I ended up please nobody hate me for this. I started watching CrossFit, like competitive CrossFit. I was like, this looks cool, man. Like they're doing mental stuff. This is awesome. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. I want to do some of that. So I started mucking around doing that stuff. Terribly, of course, like with like the baby weights and like nowhere near the level of volume that they were doing, but I felt really good doing it. I was like, yeah, but I'm not really improving. One, because I didn't know what the hell I was doing in any stretch of the words, like just throwing stuff around and hoping for the best. So for anybody who's listening, get a coach. Like get a coach. They'll show you what you need to do. But then two, nutritionally, I was just eating crap. I was just like, I'm a soldier, it's fine. I can out train a bad diet. Like that's all fine. I can eat whatever I want. And that's just not true. Interestingly, at the time I was living in Belfast as well, and so I'd recently been introduced to I don't know whether you might have them down there. They're called 15s. It's like oh, and I was just nailing them. So anyone who doesn't know, it's like condensed milk, coconut, marshmallows, chocolate, solidness of all like just pure calories. Like we're
Or
talking
calories, yeah.
500 calories per little slice, I reckon. And so yeah, so I wasn't eating well, and I thought, right, I need to start learning. I need to start learning. At the time, Instagram wasn't what it is now. Instagram was very organic. There was lots of people just sharing pictures of their dogs and whatever, but there was still some coaches on there. But coaches were mainly being pushed on Facebook at that time. If you remember back in those days where it was all PDF meal plan this and all that sort of stuff. And I started looking at things and I blew my own mind. I was like, the hell is all this? You got one camp telling me I can't eat bread because it's going to kill me. Got another camp telling me if you don't eat carbs, you'll never be good. You got another camp saying that you should just do protein shakes. Like I was like, what the hell is all this? So I started to get a bit frustrated with it all, and I started to learn. And initially, I just learned myself. Right, I just started Googling stuff. Like this was before AI was a thing, right? So there was no chat GPT for me to go and find out and the real answers. And I was just like, right, okay, Googling stuff, like reading magazines. Used to buy the men's health magazines. Like, oh, what should I read? What should I eat? And then eventually, I listened to a podcast actually, a guy called Ben Coomber. He runs a supplement company called Awesome Supplements, but he also runs an education company that's an affiliated, accredited, like proper, real education company. And I did their like an initial like fat loss for life course, and then I did their little foundation stuff. I started doing all of that. And I thought, oh, this is really interesting, really interesting. And then I started to just learn and learn and learn. And it became very much what I did to the point where the people I serve with were like, oh, here's Adam, he's going to talk to you about food. Like, like, and it just became this passion of mine. I was like, okay, cool. And I started to help people just randomly, bits and bobs here and there. Like, oh, maybe you should try that. Try doing that. That'll work. Oh, you don't need to worry about that. Oh, that's rubbish. You know, and I realized I had a passion for it. I realized I was like, okay, I can help people break through bullshit because the whole don't eat bread brigade or Eddie Abu saying you can only eat eggs, like everyone else is shit. Excuse my French. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear on your podcast,
I'll swear
but
away.
all of these things, I was like, right, I need to learn and I need to help people because if I felt like that, other people feel like that. Other people don't know where to start. Other people don't know what they should eat. Other people don't have a clue about why every company seems to just slap protein on it and charge an extra €2. Like, what the hell? So it kind of came from there. And then I just snowballed to where we are today, where, I'm doing this full time. I'm no longer a soldier. I'm doing a passion, a thing that's a struggle and it's a journey. Of course, it is like anybody who knows how things are as a coach. But I'm really happy because I get to help people and impact people day to day.
Yeah, you certainly do that as well. Um, you're saying there that you're in the army. You're
Yeah,
serving for a while. What?
yeah.
How long were you serving for?
So I was a soldier for 15 years. I recently left in January. So I joined in 2010 and then left in January. So 15 years service. In that time, did all of the like all over the world, doing all the crazy things. And yeah, it was as a kid, it's what I really loved. Right? I used to steal books from the library about being a soldier, like genuinely go and steal all their books and get in trouble. So I always knew I was going to be a soldier, always. But then nutrition kind of came along. And what I thought was going to be my entire life, I thought I was going to stay forever. I thought I was going to always find a job like doing as a soldier. I thought that was going to be me, going to be that old crusty dude, like, the types, right? Who just, oh, I was a soldier. Like, I thought that was going to be me. But then nutrition came along. I started to impact people's lives. And it just kind of just went, now this is the thing. This is the thing I can do forever. I can help people.
Yeah, absolutely. When was that point? Like, everyone has a point where something just clicks. Oh, this is what I need to do. When was that point for you? You're like, oh, I need to do nutrition. This is my calling.
It was so 2021. I'd just come back from another deployment. For anybody who knows me, I spent the majority of my time away doing stuff. I just come back from a deployment and I felt a shift of like I can impact people's lives here. I can keep doing the soldiering thing, right? That's fine, but I can impact people's lives. And I specifically remember helping a friend of mine who's a coach with one of his team members with a specific nutrition issue. And at the time, I dilly dallied with like helping other people and having my own clients and stuff like that. But I remember that light bulb moment for the person where I speak to them in a language that that makes perfect sense. Like, yeah, no shit. Like, this is all rubbish. Just listen to this, do this one thing, and you'll be fine, you know? And that light bulb moment, like, it was mid 2021. And I was just like, okay, this is the thing. And very quickly, the shift started to happen where I stopped focusing so much on my military career and growing and getting the next course and getting the next promotion and doing X, Y, Z and doing all the things that I had dreamed of doing or had been doing and want to continue doing. And it started being about, well, what can I learn about nutrition? How can I help more people? And it just became this thing, its own beast that I did two things. I was a soldier, and when I wasn't soldiering, I was a nutritionist. And that was it. I didn't do anything else. I was there for my wife and my daughter, obviously doing those things, but literally working, creating, failing more times than I care to admit, as Gavin will know in regards to like online coaches and how we have to keep trying and keep doing stuff. But just felt really good to help people break through barriers and really get them to achieve the goals that they had come for.
Yeah. I feel like you and me have very similar values when it comes to coaching as well. And I feel like that's why we work so well together.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, I suppose that's a really good overview of your life, even just to get to where you're at right now. If you had to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 of like how passionate you are about your nutrition, what number would you give yourself?
Before I say that, I'm going to say a line that was said to me many years ago by a mentor. It said, Adam, enthusiasm makes up for any lack of skill. So my enthusiasm, my passion, I'm going to say is a 15. I'm going to say is above 10 because I love it.
Good. Love that. And like you're so good at it as well. Like genuinely, I'm not just blowing smoke up your arse. I would say this to you when we're not recording a podcast as well. Genuinely, you are probably one of the best nutritionists I've ever had the pleasure of spending a bit of time with even. But Genuinely, you are good at it, and it just goes to show it does come across in your work. So I'm going to pick your brain a little bit on some of your methodologies and things like that, if that's
Mm.
okay. So, obviously, a lot of guys that listen to this program or listen to this podcast would mainly be men, obviously, because that's the type of people that we work with in our program. Obviously, you work with other people as well. So if there is like women and stuff like that that would be listening along to this, they might take value from this as well. But in terms of like what we are seeing and what you're kind of seeing from working with the guys, say, inside the Life Lift Repeat project, what is the biggest mistake, would you say, that most people are making when they're trying to drop body fat?
Hyperfixation on individual things. They think, oh, what about this tiny little thing that I need to do here? No, no. Zoom out. Zoom out. Look at everything as a whole. We do a great thing in the Life Lift Repeat project called the Whole Food Reset. It's where we get people to zoom out and look at their food as a whole over a 2 week period, focus on eating single ingredient whole food as much as possible, minimizing ultra processed foods. You know, the things high protein, high veg, high fruit. Look at the big picture because you're obsessing over that one little tiny, oh, what point do I need to take the protein shake? No, no. Let's look at everything else. Let's look at the big picture here because that is the thing that you are ignoring because you think that that one little shiny pill is going to be enough for you to wake up tomorrow in the best shape of your life. Spoiler alert, it isn't. It is the fundamentals and the foundations of everything you do that make the difference. And when I say foundations, I do not mean basic knowledge. I don't mean, oh, this is protein. No shit. What I mean is foundation of what you do every day. How ingrained in that is that in you? I have to think about that. Are you showing up every day, repeating the same habits and processes that align towards your goals? Because from a fat loss perspective, I can guarantee you, if you are looking to achieve a fantastic result, it is that foundation that you can build from that makes the most difference. It's why, and I'm going to ruffle a few feathers here, I don't do meal plans because they don't work. What works is me understanding the big picture and your foundation to then build from. So that's the thing I see the most is people obsessing over individual tiny details before we nail that base level of the pyramid.
Follow-up question on that one then. What happens if someone rigorously follows a meal plan for a certain period of time? What usually do you see happen? What
So
if you know?
someone right, if I give you the meal plan and go, there you go do that, and they rigorously follow it, right? And they're like, yeah, boy, nailing this, blah, 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 feel loads of progress. What happens when you don't follow that meal plan? What do you do? Because I guarantee you, if I haven't worked on the habits, if we haven't worked on the education that Gavin and I do, we haven't done that, and I remove that meal plan, the next words out of your mouth are, oh shit, now what? Because that piece of paper or that PDF doesn't help you. Okay. What what I inevitably see happening with meal plans is this on and off switch for people. They go, oh, I'm on a diet, pff, switch it on. Going to follow that, going to do all these things, I'm going to train, I'm going to do steps, I'm going to eat high protein, I'm going to buy the protein powder, I'm going to buy this supplement. Like, then they start going down rabbit holes. Oh, what about Shilajit and ashwagandha and lion's mane? Yeah, I'll do that as well. And they do all these things. And then like one of their mates goes, here, we're going to we're going to this place for dinner. You coming? No, no, I'm on a meal plan.
Yeah,
Well, I know for a fact that in your head, that person following that meal plan wants to go for that meal. So what ends up happening? You start thinking about that meal. Start going over it in your head. You go, I can't have it. I'm trying to be good. Eventually, you hit the fuck it button. And before you know it, you're sat on your sofa watching Netflix, the next episode of Suits that you've watched 10 episodes of, or whatever it is you're watching, and you're throwing 9,000 calories of Doritos, Cadbury's, and fizzy drink down your grid. You're like, oh, I just need to be more disciplined. When were you more disciplined? Oh, when I was following the meal plan. The meal plan's the problem. Like, that's the problem. Okay. It's that on and off switch that my biggest goal is to remove. Yeah. And we talk a lot about gold and bronze standard situations and how we can help you with that. Understanding that is the key to success.
yeah. I totally agree with that as well. And I just think a lot of people think meal plans are the answer before they ever like take any advice or anything like that. So they go on to ChatGPT. This is half the problem.
Yeah.
ChatGPT will give them a meal plan, it'll give them a training plan, but it doesn't optimize for when things go wrong. So
Yeah.
technically, I class meal plans as like restrictive dieting, and
Mhm.
restrictive dieting is as we know, not good. So it's just another form of like cutting carbs. It's just another way of doing that basically, and it just doesn't help whatsoever.
Yeah. Carbs.
Carbs.
That's another thing. Carbs are
Next
bad.
one.
No,
Let's
they're
go
not.
on to carbs. What's your take on carbs?
Right.
I know you can talk for hours on this.
Carbohydrates are your friend. They are your body's preferred source of fuel. It's how you create energy, right? It's how your body creates energy. It craves it. It craves it so much that if you don't eat enough carbohydrates, your body takes the protein and the fat you've eaten and converts it into carbohydrate anyway. So all that great work, you go, Adam, I hit 160 grams of protein today. Yeah, and you get less than 100 grams of carbs. So all of that has been turned into carbohydrates, not used for muscle growth and repair. But then you go, but people are like, yeah, but sugar's bad for you. All carbohydrates are sugar. Potato, sugar. Bread, sugar. Strawberries, sugar. Broccoli, sugar. It's all sugar. Please stop demonizing it. All right. And if you had another 4 hours, I could go into the reasons why that happens and why people demonize it, but we don't. Just trust me, this is what I do. Eat the food. Because anybody tells me I can't have a sandwich can get in the bin. Like genuinely.
You have probably the best way of explaining this. I tried to explain this to a client the other day, one of our clients, and I just made an absolute bollocks of it. You explained this in such a simple term. What happens if, say, for example, you're in a fat loss strategy, which is only a small part of what we do anyway. Like it's only the initial maybe 1 or 2, 3 months maybe that you do your fat loss strategy. But what happens if you're in a fat loss strategy, you go out with the weekend, you go out for dinner, or you have a few drinks and then you get on the scales the next morning and you're up 4 kg, 3 kg. Why does that happen? Like, did you just get suddenly fat? Because I know so many people that would listen to this be like, oh, I'm after gaining all the weight I've lost back. Why does that happen?
None of that is body fat. None. Literally none. It is all to do with water retention due to carbohydrate intake and sodium intake. Okay. So when we look at, say, for example, somebody going out, they go get a takeaway. Yeah, whatever, they go to Chinese and get whatever they want, right? Step on scales the next day, it's gone up by 2 kg. Just like you said, it's terrible. I need to, I've done normal progress. Nope, it's just carbs. It's the extra carbs and the extra sodium that's contained within that food. And that massive water spike. The reason for this is because for every gram of carbohydrates you eat, 3 to 4 grams of water are attached. So when you have a higher carb day, which Chinese tend to add refined sugar to all their meals to make it taste nicer, guess what happens? Scales go up. But it's not body fat, it's just water. And I guarantee you, it'll come back down to baseline within a day or two. If you are doing that every weekend, yes, eventually that will become an issue because then we need to talk about why and what's going on because there's so many factors around it. But if it's every few weeks and you enjoy it, why would I stop you from doing it? Is there a reality which you live in that you're never going to have those things again? No, you enjoy the food. So what good is me telling you don't do it because it's bad going to do? Let's prove something here. Don't think about elephants. What do you think about?
Elephants.
Exactly. And if I say to you, don't eat Chinese, it's bad for you. What do you think about?
We want to eat the Chinese.
Because I've told you not to bloody do it. You're like, I'm not listening to you, you weird ginger bearded dude. I'm going to eat what I want. We're human beings are rebellious in nature. So when we see people telling us not to do something, we automatically think we can go and do it because we've been told not to. When in actual fact, it's that restrictive attitude that leads you to hitting the fuck it button and eating 7,000 calories. But every so often. And it's not a cheat or a treat or any of those things. Because that mentality, again, leads into the good and bad food perspective. It is just, I enjoy the food. I'm going to have a takeaway with my missus and I want to sit down and have a laugh and a joke, talk about the week we've had, and that makes me happy. Is that not far better than you craving a Chinese for 12 weeks? Like, I'm being strict, I'm being strict, I'm being strict. Get into 12 weeks. Oh, I've lost all the weight. And then you nail a Chinese bigger than you've ever had before. And you step on the scales on Monday and it's gone up by 4 kilos. And you're like, oh my God, like, can we just chill out?
Yeah, 100%. And we actually had that in the program this week. I think it was last week even. One of our clients, Jamie.
Mm.
You're familiar. You had a call with him last Friday, and he said in his check-in this week that he was absolutely shitting himself coming onto his initial call with you because he thought you were going to go through him for a shortcut, were his words, and you were going to give out to him for not being able to stick to his macros. And what a lot of people don't realize is like we are not here to give out to you. Like we're not your parents or your teachers. That's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to help you. And he was like, I felt so good when I came off that half an hour call. He's like, geez, I could have spent hours on the call with Adam and got so much value from it. So like that's just it's part of it, isn't it? It's like we're not here to demonize people. Did I lose you?
Yeah, you're back. You're
Have you
back.
back? But yeah, that's it. Like we're not trying to demonize anyone at all. It was just like it's a sustainable approach to being able to stay in shape, be happy with what you're doing in your life, and have the energy to actually be able to do the things outside of training. It's more to life than that.
To give context to it, right? I've recently come out of a deficit phase, and this isn't all look at me. This is proof. I lost 10 kilos in 12 weeks, 10 kg in 12 weeks. Every week, without fail, I went for a donut with my daughter. And I'm not talking about the little donuts you get out of the petrol station or Tesco's in the little paper bags. I'm talking about a donut, right? Covered in cream, Bueno pieces, Oreo, whatever, you know. And I sat there with her. We laughed and we joked in the place where we get this donut, and made me so happy. Made me so happy. 600 or so calories. Did I track it? No. Did I care? No. Because it made me happy in that moment that allowed me to eat some really nice food that I enjoy eating, but being present about it in a thing that mattered to me. Because in 10 years' time, when my daughter thinks well, she's 8 now, so call it 5 years' time where she hates my guts because I'm uncool, right? I'm like, yeah, but we used to do that, so it's fine. You can call me uncool now, it's all right. But that is a core memory and it makes me happy. And I did it all while losing fat. And again, it isn't look at me. It's not. I should be able to do that. I'm a nutritionist. But don't think my foundations weren't the things we've been discussing. That was everything. My routine, my habits. I ate similar things, but I also varied it because I could. It wasn't a meal plan, it was me just picking what I wanted to eat.
I think so many people get caught up in that as well, and they just completely forget that the whole reason that you do this stuff, that you train, that you try to be healthy, that you try to eat well, is so that you can be around for the people that are close to you and enjoy those moments. And people get so caught up in the moment of doing the training that they
Mm.
completely forget about the reason they're doing it. And that's why we talk about our why, right? We'll talk about this quite a lot, but like that's something I talked about on previous episodes as well. Your why is the most important thing to bring you through this. If you can remember why you're doing your why, you don't get caught up in that. So talk to me about your why. Let me
My
hear
why.
it.
So, the reason why I am here, nutrition and what it is to me, it is about taking people from, oh, I want to see how small I can get my body, to I want to see what my body is capable of. And the more people I can impact doing that, the more people I can help change that mindset to get to the point where they go, Adam, I've just ran my first ever 10K. Adam, I've just done this. You and Gavin have helped massively. Adam, I've got this mental goal because next year I want to go do a triathlon. Let's go do that. The why for me, yes, of course, like most people, is to create a life for my family, support my wife, support my daughter, be there, give everything I can to them so I'm present. It's why I left the army. I left the army because I was like, that's taking the lion's share and has taken the lion's share of my life for too long. And they suffered. So I need to go do something I'm really passionate about and be there for my family. But I'm really passionate about this because every day I get to live the thing that I really enjoy. I get to read about nutrition all the time. I get to learn stuff. I love it when people show me something I didn't know. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. It's not like, oh, no, no, that's wrong. But my why is to help people break past that barrier because they're sold so much BS online, social media, or Janet in the office says, oh, you can't eat that, it's bad for you. All of this, the idea that I can show them there is a better way. There is a better way to do this. When you see that, when you see that real behavior change, it's far more powerful to me than any monetary figure, anything like that. It is just okay, I've helped that person. And do you know what? I get to do that alongside coaches that I really like working with. I love working with you, Gavin, because you and I are aligned our values. We want to help people. We're not here to fleece people, because if we did, we'd just be pumping out PDF after PDF after PDF. Say, go do that. Buy my ebook. Nah, we're in a business of changing people's lives,
Yeah,
and that's my why: to work with people who are aligned to my goals to change people's lives. That's it.
100%. Yeah, and look, we definitely do have similar values, and I think that's just why we align quite well.
Mm.
But like that's it. Like there's so many fucking online coaches. There's so many people out there selling shit at the moment. And it's very hard for people to see through the bullshit,
Yeah,
which is a shame. But like I completely respect it because there's a lot of mentors selling bullshit to me at the moment. So, there's a lot of good ones too, but you just have to find the right ones, and that's half the battle, I suppose. When someone does find a good one, they usually stay with the good one for as long as they need to stay with the good one.
exactly.
Um, but look, I'm cautious of time. I know you've probably got a call coming up relatively shortly. So I'm going to kind of cut it in a minute, but like, I just want to kind of ask you one last thing before you go, because obviously it's really good to have you on. And I don't know when the next time is. We might be able to get you back on. Can you just give a little bit of an overview, just for anyone who's listening, who might be potentially thinking about maybe joining the Life Lift Repeat project at some point, if
Mhm.
not now, but like sometime down in the future? What would you do for them while they were inside the Life Lift Repeat project? Like, just give a little bit of a roadmap of what that kind of looks like.
Yeah. So whenever somebody comes into the Life Lift Free project, Gavin and I have a system where we understand exactly who they are, individually, their goals, what they're trying to achieve, and where we can get them to. Okay. That isn't just us guessing or using some AI software. It is us talking and going, right, what is the best outcome here for this client? And then from there, I create a bespoke nutrition strategy. I do not do copy and paste. Every single strategy I create is from scratch with the individual in mind. And from there, as I've said before, we do the whole food reset. The whole food reset is where I get you to focus on eating single ingredient whole food, drawing back from ultra processed and packaged food as much as we can, and trying to enjoy food. Then we have an individual call. And in that call, we dive deep into who you are, your lifestyle, your goals, why the goal is important. We've gone on why a bit, but why the goal is important because then I can understand it. The pressures you face, work, family, social, kids, whatever it may be, sports, whatever, when you like to train, when you like to eat. And what we then do is truly understand who you are. And I give you real time, actionable coaching advice to start. And we drive forward and go, right, this is what we're going to do. And then we always have touch points. We always follow up. We go, right, okay, it's been a couple of weeks. How's that going? Okay, yep, we've achieved that. And we refresh, remind, we go through and drive forward for you to achieve that next level. There are countless men that we can say, because we have been there and planned the long term journey past fat loss, they've stayed because of it. Because it's not just, oh yeah, we do this and then see you later. It's like, no, that's the baseline. And because of the way you and I work, is we're hot on what comes next. And we plan that. So it's never a question, it never comes into a client's mind, now what? It's like, no, no, I know what's going on. And then we combine that with the education pieces. So from what a client gets from me to get everything they need to smash their goals. Whatever goal it is, I've got you covered. I've got you covered. You could come at me and say, I'm playing Gaelic professionally. I need to do X, Y, Z. Fantastic. There for you. Or I'm doing hurling, whatever. Whatever it is, I'm playing soccer, whatever it is, I got you covered. Because this is what we do. And we know how to get you the result you want. So you get a nutritionist who doesn't use copy and paste and builds everything from scratch.
The whole deal, the real deal.
Hold it.
Yeah, no, that's definitely. And then obviously the goal always is and always happens is to be able to get to a point where you know exactly what you're doing with your nutrition and you've sucked in all the information that Adam has. You're never going to be as good as Adam because Adam's the best, but you'll be somewhere close to Adam long term. I always use Adam Mullen as an example for that.
Yep.
He's probably in a place now where if he left the program tomorrow, I don't think he'll ever get out of shape again,
Yeah.
which is which is kind of what the goal is also long term for everyone. The goal is for everyone to stay for as long as possible, but obviously not everyone can stay forever. Um, but yeah, look, Adam, I won't take up any much more of your time, man. As I said, I really do appreciate you jumping on this podcast. Hopefully, anyone that's listening will get incredible value. I'm pretty sure they will just from listening to that small little chat that we had. If
Yeah.
someone wanted to find out more about you, kind of get in touch with you, have a chat with you, how would they go about doing that?
Yeah, so I am on Instagram like every other coach on the planet, and so that's it's if you type in integrated nutrition, that'll come up with me. I'm also on YouTube, where I create like education videos and stuff like that. So again, integrated nutrition on YouTube. If you fancy checking that stuff out and seeing what you like, hit me up, and I'll answer any questions you got.
100% dude. Absolutely perfect. Listen, I'm gonna hit stop recording on this one. Appreciate you, dude. Thank you very much.
Brother.